Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a brand new Blitz news update for LEGO Dimensions Year 2. So over at San Diego Comic-Con, which if you don't know what that is, it is the largest Comic-Con convention that happens every summer. It's kind of at this time of the year, basically kind of July-ish, like late July-ish or so. But nonetheless, that convention is going on, and we got some really lovely news for LEGO Dimensions. So the cool thing is that I'm going to be making two videos because honestly, I tried to record this as one video. It turned out to be about 34 minutes long, which is not about, that's very specific, but it was just kind of way too long of a video. So I do apologize about that. So essentially, the way I'm going to break it up is two ways. There is another video that I've already recorded that I hope that you guys have seen, which features the new Sonic trailer that they released, which is super duper cool. So if you want to see that, check it out. It's a whole new trailer. Plus we got a whole bunch of pictures of Sonic in the game, plus some of the stuff that he'll be able to do and such. So it's really awesome. Check that out. This video is going to be probably a bit longer. And essentially what this video is going to be is analyzing the rest of the news that was revealed. So we got a bunch of pictures for a bunch of different things. Like, for example, just a few days ago, there was the confirmation of the fact that the Marceline, or is that how you say her name from Adventure Time? I'm pretty sure that that's how you pronounce her name, right? Marceline, is that how you say it? Or Marceline, maybe? It's Marceline, I think, right? Is that how you spell out her name? I'm pretty sure. So, nonetheless, we just got the news that she was actually going to be a Toys R Us exclusive pack. And if you don't remember, there was already a case of where there was an exclusive pack previously, and that was for, oh my goodness, what's his name? Not Lion-O. Why am I blanking on his name right now? The lion character from Legends of Chima. So he was an exclusive to Toys R Us previously, and that's the case this time around. The same, we get this. But as soon as we found that out, I was going to make a video just for that, but I was like, you know, that's not really enough news. So I wanted to hold off and wait till we got some more, and boy, oh boy, did we get some more news. So, first and foremost, I guess let's start with that one, and that is the fact that we're going to get another fun pack for Adventure Time, which will be, of course, as I mentioned before, Marceline, the Vampire Queen. She will come along with the Lunatic Amp, and that will be able to convert into 3 different things as well. Now, the really cool thing about being patient and waiting about this news is that now we actually have a little bit more context and a little bit more information about what that exactly means. So essentially, she's going to have the following abilities, which will be a Sonar Smash and Bolt Deflector ability. So that's really interesting. The Sonar Smash is a pretty rare ability, so it's really cool that she's going to have that as well. Then she's going to be able to use the Bolt Deflector, which will allow her to use the Marceline guitar, and that's pretty cool. And obviously she will use that same guitar axe in order to battle foes and enemies, so that's definitely quite neato. And then the other component will be the Lunatic Amp, which will be able to reassemble itself into a Shadow Scorpion and a Heavy Metal Monster. So that is pretty neat. Those are some really cool details about what specifically will the character do. And additionally to that, what abilities might the actual vehicle / gadget in the pack will do. So, with that in mind, let's move on to the other fun pack that we found out about, again, in more depth. Now we actually have the minifigure images and such, so that's a big deal, at least in my personal opinion, and that is E.T., the extraterrestrial. So we know that he will be a fun pack, which most likely means, I'm guessing, we're not going to get anything else from the E.T. franchise. But to be fair, I mean, when you think of E.T., the main character you want out of there is E.T. So it kind of makes sense as to why we get just the E.T. minifigure. And I gotta say, the minifig looks fantastic. It looks absolutely great. They really did nail it. I like how they used the shorter leg piece to make sure that the figure is going to be somewhat in scale and he'll be a little bit shorter. So I do like that quite a bit. As far as abilities go for E.T., he will have the ability to use illumination, which obviously makes sense, you know, with his finger lighting up and everything. So that makes perfect sense. Then he's also going to have the ability to fix stuff. So if there's any like broken pieces or anything like that, you know, like the ones that require like Emmet and so on and so forth. So he'll be able to use that as well. Plus, that's not it. He has more abilities, which is stealth and telekinesis. So E.T. is going to be super duper useful as far as abilities go. That is one of the most versatile characters that we're going to be able to add to our LEGO Dimensions teams. So that is really quite fantastic that he'll be able to use all of that. Now, what about his gadget? Well, the gadget that is included in the Fun Pack will be the phone home, or the home phone, I guess, and the actual gadget will be able to also retransform or transform into mobile uplink and a supercharged satellite. So those will be the other forms of that specific Fun Pack. So that is still not all, because there was still even more information, and that is for the Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. So just a couple days ago, we found out that, yes, the Fantastic Beasts set is going to be available in November. Speaking of which, all of these sets that have been revealed here are all a part of the November 18th, 2016 release date. So this is wave number 7 of the figures, and the reason why it's 7 is because we've had previous waves, obviously, for year 1 of LEGO Dimensions, which was 5 waves long. And now year 2, we'll kick things off with September 28th, I believe, will be, or maybe it's 23rd. I can't remember. I think 28th. But on that date, we will get our 6th wave of figures, and then after that, wave number 7 will be the one that we are discussing right now. So, Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. This will be a story pack, which we knew already before. We found out about that previously, but we really didn't have much context as to, for example, what will be included in the story pack in terms of the characters that they choose, the actual rebuild of the base. We didn't know what it was going to look like or anything. A few days ago, there was a piece of newspaper, I think, from an advertisement in, I think it was the UK, I want to say, I'm pretty sure. But we saw a preview of the image, which was really interesting and quite cool looking. But now we have official images and official confirmation as to what this will actually look like. And the set looks absolutely beautiful. I gotta say, it looks tremendously awesome. I love the packaging for it. It looks fantastic. You've got the main characters square in the center, which I believe is Newt Charmander, with the craziness of Pokemon Go right now. Maybe it's Charmander. They'll change it to that. That'd be pretty funny. But I believe that it's Scamander, and that's of course going to be the main character of the Fantastic Beasts film. And on top of that, that is not all that is included in the package, because it will also include the 3-in-1 Niffler, which is this kind of like, looks like kind of like a mole or maybe like a rat-like creature. I don't know much about Fantastic Beasts and where to find them, so I apologize that I don't know specifically, like, hey, this is what this character is. But the cool thing is that that character will also be able to reassemble into 2 distinctly different animals, and that is the Sinister Scorpion and a Vicious Vulture. So those are very different creatures, which is kind of interesting, because previously, yeah, we got some rebuilds, like even with the phone, right? Like it was a phone, it was a mobile station, and it's a radar. They're kind of somewhat in the same group. Here, it's very different animals. Like when you think of a scorpion and the way that a vulture looks and the way that Niffler himself looks, very different designs. So I'm actually really interested to see what that process of rebuilding will be like. Now, that is not all, but essentially, the story pack, if you don't know, they are priced higher, meaning that you will have to pay more for a story pack than you would for a fun pack, or even a team pack, or what am I forgetting? Fun pack, team pack, and level pack. So if you didn't know, typically speaking, in North America, it's about $11.99 for the fun packs. Team packs are $24.99. Level packs are $29.99, and then the story packs are going to be $50. So the reason why the story pack is more expensive, because unlike a level pack where we get only 1 level, the story pack includes 6 different levels. So that's actually really neat, because you're not just getting, you know, the one kind of like, oh, let's dive into this universe for a little bit. You're getting pretty much a pretty hefty sum of content. Now, again, it's too early to really judge how substantial that will be, because we haven't gotten to play. Like, if those levels are like 12 minutes long each, it might not be fun. But if they're like really cool and they have cool puzzles and they're really exciting and fun, which so far they have all been, so I don't know why we would doubt them. But if by some account they're not great, then obviously I could see how people would say that maybe the story packs are not worth the price of admission. However, you are getting a lot of Lego pieces in here, plus of course all that digital content, so it really kind of varies from person to person and whether or not you are going to be interested in that. But the other cool thing is that they also did confirm that not only will there be the story pack for the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, but we will also be receiving an additional fun pack which will feature Tina Goldstein, or Goldstein maybe, and it's really cool because she's actually going to have a distinctly different spell ability than what Newt has. So Newt, I think, will have Defendo, Reparo, I think is how you pronounce that, and Lumos. So those are going to be the distinct spells that he will be able to use. And then Tina, on the other hand, will have the Agumenti, and I think it was like Protego or something like that. So she's got kind of the ability to like move stuff, I'm guessing, so like kind of like telekinesis with Agumenti. And then Protego is, I'm guessing, a protective spell, because it sounds like that would be, so it would make perfect sense. And she will come along with also another, of course, 3-in-1 build of Swooping Evil, which will be able to be rebuilt into a Brutal Bloom and a Crawling Creeper. So the name definitely will live up to the content, because there are certainly a ton of creepy and spooky and weird and strange things that will be a part of the Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them sets. So we're not done yet. There's still one more set to discuss, the final set to discuss for today, and that is the Gremlins set. So the cool thing about the Gremlins set was the fact that when they showed it, I remember that I saw a figure that they showed, and it was Spike. Like, it was, you know, kind of like the evil gremlin. And that kind of made me confused, because I was like, okay, we're just going to get the evil version minifig? We're not going to get, like, you know, the adorable kind of gremlin version? And that was a little bit disconcerting. At first, I was like, oh, that might not be great. You know, it might not be particularly fun to just have that one representation. Well, I was wrong, because essentially we're getting both, which is super duper neat. So they did confirm that the LEGO Dimensions Gremlins pack will actually be a team pack, which is really cool, because we're gonna get both Spike and Gizmo. Wait, was it Spike or was it Stripe? I can't remember. I think it might be Stripe, actually, isn't it? Oh man, I done diddly goofed. Sorry about that. It was Stripe, wasn't it? Because Spike is the other. Okay, I messed this up. It's Gizmo and Stripe, and the both of them are actually going to be included in the pack. So it's really cool that we're going to get both kind of like, you know, the adorable version of the Gremlins and then the spectacularly villainous version as well, which is super duper neat, because again, you're getting two different variations of items in one pack, and that's always awesome. Plus, the more characters, the merrier. So in my opinion, that is really quite cool. As far as abilities go, Gizmo is going to be able to use a combat roll, a dash attack, and I believe that was all as far as his abilities go. Whereas Stripe is going to be able to utilize his claws in order to cut the vines, which is super duper neat, because I don't believe that there are a lot of characters from what I remember. I remember that the Velociraptor gadget could do that. I remember that Owen Grady from the Jurassic World franchise could do that, but there weren't really all that many other characters that had that ability. So it's going to be really cool that Stripe will be another character added that will be able to cut down the vines and such. So, what about the two included items in the pack, or gadgets in the pack? First of which will be the 3-in-1 RC Racer vehicle, which will be able to transform also into a Gadget-O-Matic and a Scarlet Scorpion. So, a lot of Scorpion representation going on, which is pretty intriguing. And then after that, the other 3-in-1 item is the Flash and Finish, which will be able to also transform into a Rampage record player and Stripes Throne, which is super duper cool. I love the throne idea. That's really quite neat. So, with all of that in mind, there you go. That was all the news that we got. That was all the images that we got. The characters look terrific. As I spoke over them, you obviously saw the images and everything. I'm really super duper impressed with how everything is starting to come together. I'm very excited about a lot of these characters. Plus, keep in mind, even for a character like E.T., you know, like, oh, we only got E.T., but there's gonna be a whole E.T. hub world. Like, that's gonna be so much fun. Like, imagine, even though you get maybe, for now, only one representation of a character from that world, you're gonna have a whole hub world to explore, which sounds super duper exciting and quite fun. So, with all of that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so very much for watching today's Blitz News Update. Of course, check out the other news update that I did, which features Sonic and Oh, that trailer is so good. Check out the trailer that they did. It's so amazing. Plus, that trailer also confirmed some really cool things about the Sonic level. So check that out. Thank you guys so very much for watching. You guys are awesome. Drop a like if you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out. See you later, alligators. Bye-bye, everyone.